Hi everybody. I just want to give a little comparatization of two ukuleles made by the same company, the first generation and the second generation, and it's the outdoor ukulele. And some of you may remember the first generation had quite a bit of criticism. The frets were tall, so you could have an intonation problem if you pushed all the way to the fingerboard. You could sharpen that note quite a bit. It had a sharp neck. A lot of people didn't like that sharp neck. And the friction pegs, the first generation of friction pegs, were made out of the same material as ukulele, and people did not like them. That was their attempt at making something totally waterproof that water couldn't damage. But quickly they heard the criticism of that, and they opted to use a metal peg, a traditional metal friction peg. And the problem with that is when it gets cold or hot, they can become difficult to turn, or when it's cold they may slip, and so some people didn't like that. Here you can see my custom carrying strap made out of a bootlace. Those are aftermarket add-ons. The new uke has had quite a few changes, and this is where I want to give kudos. I think Scott is the owner of the company. I really want to give kudos to him, because this is a project that he took on because he loves ukulele. And when he got all that criticism, it would have been very easy to say, I'm done, I tried it, let's go back to what we're good at, or whatever, and just turn away from it. But he really wanted to make an ukulele that was indestructible for the outdoors enthusiast who wanted to take a musical instrument with them into the wild, wherever they wanted to have one. And so he tried again, he found a new molder, and these are some of the changes that he made, and I think they're really good ones. One of them is the frets have been shortened. They're closer to the fingerboard, so you don't get that intonation problem. Intonation's better. Another thing he changed was he rounded the neck edges. It's a very nice round neck. It does have just a slightly flat spot, which makes a nice platform for the thumb. Geared tuners instead of friction, so no matter what the temperature changes, the intonation won't change because of the peg. It may change because of string or something else, but the pegs won't slip in cold weather. Another thing he did was he made it a little bit more thin at the top, kind of made it old traditional style looking as far as making a narrower profile than the original. This one is on loan to me from my buddy Petey Mack, and this is his custom design of a uke hanger. They also offer options more now, and Pete had strap buttons put on this one. Now, one change that I really like, and a lot of people may not notice, is when you put the ukes like this, bottom to bottom, what you can see is the newer one is slightly taller. And what you're going to look at here to see it is look at where the headstock is and look where the tuners line up. Now, one thing that happens here is, and I've noticed this on my vintage Martin, is that you can start to feel cramped up here at the headstock when you have the tuners set too close down. If he wouldn't have made the headstock a little bit longer and gotten the tuners up a little bit higher from your hand, you'd still feel a little crowded there. You don't feel that crowd here. You've got room for your hands to move around that peg. So that's a real plus. That's a comfort thing in playing. And when you're a player who plays down it consistently in this closer area, you want that hand room. And I have fairly large hands. I'm 6'2", and I won't tell you how much I weigh because I'm modest. But there's this to me was an enormous improvement right here, because here you're coming down. It's probably almost a ½ inch difference. So when you're playing here, you start to feel some of that room taken away from you, and you'd really feel it if you had friction pegs on here instead of geared pegs on this one instead of that other one. So what we're going to do here is just give you a little bit of a sound sample. And talk about indestructible with sustain. This could ride in your car, could ride in your backpack. It's good stuff, and kudos to Scott for staying with his dream.